Now, we are left with, after some of the current dues are paid, less than $1 million. Now, any person who's done any work in DeFi will tell you that's not going to fly, right? There's not enough here for liquidity. What are we going to do about it? Well, uh, we have no choice but to sort of implement a few things, a few actions that really make it possible for this to be feasible. The first thing is we have to look at very carefully the initial price. Obviously, you can see here in the table on the far right, if we start at $9, then the total liquidity needed just for the 6 months is $3.3 million. If you look on the left-hand side, $4 is 1.49 million, and for $5, it's 1.862 million. So my proposal is that we go with $5, knowing full well that we don't have approximately $5 million, $1.5 million. We don't have that. But there's a chance we can get that, and I'm going to show you how. If we do that, then I think starting out at $5 would be a good move for us. It would be, in fact, a very smart move for us. So let's see how we're going to get that liquidity. So the only viable plan for us is to raise capital. I propose that we raise an additional $2 to $3 million for liquidity and operating capital for 6 to 8 months. I just want to be crystal clear here. If we are unable to raise additional capital, it is not possible for this blockchain to be successful. I mean, we can turn on mainnet, etc., and let things fall where they may, but some would say just save that money and return whatever it is, pennies, like a penny on your dollar or whatever. Because 100%, if you just go as is, it's not going to work. There is no liquidity, there is no capital for it. So you have to raise money. Now, I want to raise money in a smart way. I want to make sure that we are being smart about it, and we are giving people the option. If they feel like this protocol is headed in the right direction, then we can create an incentive for them. So the solution I'm proposing is called boosters. Again, in the NFT first philosophy, a booster that is available as an NFT for purchase by existing OGs and by anyone else. A booster OG has the following benefits. Each booster NFT can increase the vesting amount for each of the first 6 months by 0.10% for your current holdings. So we have a start vesting of 0.25%, and I'll go over that in a moment. So you could boost that, hence the term booster. Now, booster NFTs can be stacked. There's no limit to how many you can add. So you could keep adding 0.1%, 0.1%, 0.1%, and keep going. Now, here's the other part that makes a booster interesting. Not only can you get accelerated vesting, but you also are eligible for a pro rata share of an incentive pool of 1.875 million tokens. I realize that anyone stepping up right now is helping the protocol, and we want to make sure that they are fairly rewarded for that. Each booster NFT is quite affordable. It's $150. It's flat price. You also get the vault for it. So at $1.50 price, so that would be 100 tokens until CEX or DEX is available. After that, it's the market price. But until we have that, you get 100 tokens. You get a share of the incentive pool of 1.875 million tokens, and you get accelerated vesting. So the vol that is granted via this booster will also have the same rules as the existing OG tokens. 0.25 vesting initially, and then 0.3% per month for 6 months until it's fully vested pro rata. So that's what a booster is. Let's look at an example, all right? So let's say you're an OG buyer. So you're one of those 3 categories. If you are holding tokens right now, buying a booster would increase your vesting of your aggregate holdings. So whatever you're holding, the whole aggregate vesting would go up by 0.1% per month for 6 months. you would get the 100 vol tokens. You would get the vol tokens at market price after it was listed, and you'd be eligible for a pro rata share. Now, the only difference between an OG buyer and a new buyer here is that a new buyer doesn't have existing tokens, and so there's nothing to which they can apply that 0.1%. It's not applicable, but they get all the other benefits. They get the token, they get the incentive pool, and that by itself is a huge benefit, because that pool is going to continue to have more and more tokens, and you'll have this NFT and you can claim, just like I explained the claiming process earlier. Let me show you a worksheet here that kind of maps it out for someone with a balance of 10,000. Well, so if you get 0 boosters, right? So you're based upon a 0.25% first month initial vesting and a 0.3% over 6 months vesting. What you would have is your initial vol vesting for 10,000 would be 25 vol, and over 6 months it would be 175. You would get nothing in the incentive pool. Now, if you bought 1 booster, look at how that changes. So first of all, your vol balance goes up by 100. It cost you 150 bucks. Your initial vol vested, you get basically 10 more. You get 35. Your 6-month vol went up also to 237. And here's the best part. You now have tokens in the incentive pool, 187 if there are, for example, 10,000 other boosters. But if there are 20,000 boosters, then since that is all shared pro rata, then your share would go down. But you would get a share regardless. So you can stack these. And so if you go down here, you can see each time 100 tokens are added and the initial vol that's vested goes higher. So that's essentially what a booster does, is it boosts your vesting, it boosts your tokens, and it boosts your ability to get an incentive pool share. Quick summary there. As I just said, it increases the vesting, and it's just an NFT. So you get an NFT. When you buy a booster, you get this NFT. Everything is NFT driven. Now, the 2 last points on this slide that I think are important. Boosters are the way we get liquidity and we get the operating capital that I told you we desperately need in order for this protocol to move forward. So a booster also boosts the protocol's ecosystem growth. So yes, it acts as a booster for you, but it also acts as a booster for the entire protocol. It's entirely optional. Those who feel like this is the right thing for them should do it. We are going to make a concerted effort to also market it to folks who are not yet in the ecosystem. But we know also that that's going to be really challenging. But that's fine. We wanted to make sure that we come up with an incentive, a liquidity enhancing kind of model here, which has a chance. And we believe this has a chance. We believe there will be a fairly large number of folks in the ecosystem who will look at that $150 booster cost and say that, yep, that looks reasonable. I'll do it because it benefits me. So I hope you feel that way and can help support the growth of this protocol.